And a howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to SciTrek's, your sci-fi TV and movie channel.
Hello.
Howdy, hey.
Howdy, howdy. How are y'all doing, Sarah and Stormy?
Great.
I'm doing quite well.
Hey, yo, that's the best way to be on a Sunday morning, you know? We've got some fun stuff to discuss today. As Jamie made last week, the CHEVRON Awards have begun. Yes. And last week was fun. We started them off. Best, I guess, original screenplays was kind of like the main focal point. So today, we're doing best adapted screenplay. Not today, it seems like. Maybe he'll pop in. We'll see. Fingers crossed. If you say his name 5 times and click your heels 3 times, you never know what happens. You never know what happens. But fingers crossed. We'll see. Happy Sunday. CHEVRON 8 has been locked. Let us lock a few more in for today for these adaptations. I've got a list up here, but we don't really have like a functional order of anything. Our main goal and purpose and function of today is to whittle it down to a top 4, not 3 or 5. I can't get my numbers right, but top 4 for the best adapted screenplays of science fiction ever. Any nominations? Because the first thing that came to mind for me was just, I don't know why. I think it was because I walked by my bookshelf was I, Robot with Will Smith. So I got 2004 in there. Ready Player One's one in recent memory that was really damn good. And The Martian as well. Those are all probably worth considering.
Really love me some Martian. Really love me some Martian.
I have to see that movie yet. I know it's bad.
Sarah,
I know. I'm slacking. All right, it's on my list.
Top of the list. Somewhere in that top area.
All right.
So, yeah. Are we taking nominations for TV or film? Just strictly film right now, just movies. We will have to do a TV in a separate category because
God, we'll be here all day if it's TV too.
Yeah.
And also, we got to let the 3 Body Problem get a second season in there, you know? We'll get to it probably before then, but I hope 3 Body Problem's in the conversation. Mars Attacks.
Did they get a second season?
Yeah, they're making a second season.
Oh, good.
They better. If it's D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, the Game of Thrones guys, you better give them a second season. Maybe not so much after that last couple. But Mars Attacks is excellent. Ooh, David. This is when the whiteboard is going to come in handy. Okay. Obviously, let me go ahead and write Martian, I, Robot down.
Are we doing just science fiction or fantasy as well?
Just science fiction.
Okay, then that rules out one.
Android's Dream of Electric Sheep.
That was really good. That was a book.
Forbidden Planet and Dune, Children of Men. Oh, God. Okay, we got good ones. This one was going to be the hard one. I mean, last week was hard, but this one is, we know how many good freaking books we've written.
Jurassic Park count?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And it was right there, too.
Did we see Dune already?
Yes, just wrote down Dune, Dune, Forbidden Planet, Children of Men, Jurassic Park. Ooh, I forgot to write Ready Player One a second ago as well.
Come on, Harris, get with it.
I know. My brain.
I really like that book, the Ready Player One book. The movie was all right, but the book's better.
Yeah, the book's really good. I accidentally ordered it in Latin, so I have the Latin version and the English version in my house.
Okay. Now there's a fan. There's a
trying to do Duolingo Latin, and I didn't stick with it, so I have not read it in Latin yet. Oops.
Is V for Vendetta science fiction? No, I don't know. More dystopian.
That was the dystopian alternative history kind of. Great, graphic novel, but
it's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, I remember the 5th of November every year. Contact. I was like, I just read it. What did it say? Contact. Judge Dredd 95 and Dredd 2012. Yeah, they're adaptations from comic books, but graphic novels is the fancy term I'm looking for there.
Yeah. Clean up your language there, Harris. Graphic novels. Come on.
Trying to be fancy with it where we can be, you know? Nosferatu. I don't know if Nosferatu is sci-fi.
Yeah,
kind of
horror.
Technically. Are vampires sci-fi?
But I think a vampire is horror.
It's horror.
Is horror.
Fantastical horror, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, serial killers, I guess, is just run-of-the-mill horror.
That would make Morbius a sci-fi movie, though, technically. But I don't know if that's one that is worth including. Was WALL-E a book?
I don't think WALL-E was a book.
And RoboCop, I believe we looked it up, was made a novel after the film.
Yeah, there was. I think there was. You're right. There was a novelization.
Yeah.
To promote.
Oh, Monk, excellent. Cloud Atlas.
Monk again for the win.
Monk gets our highbrow sci-fi in here a lot of the time. Very appreciative. War of the Worlds.
Yeah, that's a good. But the original movie or the Tom Cruise movie? I think the original, but the Tom Cruise.
Or are we talking about the radio play?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The Thing. Oh, good one.
Yeah. Was that like a Stephen King book or something originally? I don't know. Anyway.
Stephen King.
Or something.
It's not. I almost said Arthur C. Clarke. Who wrote The Thing? It's not. Alan Dean Foster.
Okay.
Alan Dean Foster. Yes.
I knew it was like an alliteration type name. It was just not the one I was looking for. Arrival. Monk coming in here again. The Running Man. Good one, Gigwise. The original Tom Cruise one sucked.
One thing about Alan Dean Foster, man, he was like the king of novelizations. I mean, he did Alien, the novelization of Alien. You know, and he also did Splinter of the Mind's Eye, one of the very early
Star Wars
novels that wasn't the novelization of the movie, but it was an offshoot. Splinter of the Mind's Eye. Definitely read if you're a Star Wars fan if you haven't gotten around to it. Excellent.
Upstairs.
That was a tricky little shard of something.
Was Minority Report a film? I mean, a novel?
I believe so.
Okay. And Bicentennial Man. Nice. Both of those are great. We got a very freaking solid list so far, y'all.
Yeah. Minority Report, another Philip K. Dick movie or novel. Novella, actually. That man was prolific.
The science fiction Stephen King. I Am Legend.
He just went on. I mean, he short stories and novellas. Pro tip: if you're really interested in Philip K. Dick, they're on eBay. You can get all of these old sci-fi magazines on a thumb drive. I mean, hundreds of titles, and there's a lot of Philip K. Dick stories in those, along with Arthur C. Clarke and Asimov that you really don't hear about, and you don't have access. I mean, they're not published anywhere. Except these old magazines that somebody has painstakingly gone through, scanned, and put on thumb drives. I think a lot of them are also available on archive.org. So you can prowl around in there, but you can get them all conveniently, high res, one thumb. They send you the thumb drive full of these things, and they are tremendous. Let me get off on a rant here on old sci-fi that was written. We are at risk of losing a lot of our literature because things that were published early in the late in the 1800s, early in the 1900s, in the 1980s. You know, if you look at Omni magazine, which also had great science fiction, and they're not on the web anymore. You know, and we are at great risk of losing it all. So, I mean, spend the $10 and get like all of these really, really good sci-fi stories on a thumb drive, you know?
You got to put the link in there so you can.
Yeah, is this the right one?
On eBay. Right. There's a lot of type in Philip K. Dick in the.
Well, the Wi-Fi didn't want to come play today. Here we are.
Yeah, the Variable Man. That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and some of these are audio or like audio books or audio plays, radio plays. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, this is just Philip K. Dick. Imagine everything else.
Oh yeah.
And hats off to Internet Archive, man, because it's there's a lot of good material there that will never see the light of day and will totally be lost unless it's in the Library of Congress.
Right.
Or,
So we legitimately cannot afford to lose that. That is our modern day internet Library of Alexandria.
I mean, it really is. I mean, God help us if the servers go down. I mean, it is. There's a lot of material on there that people around the world have found, like a vinyl record recording of some show or whatever, and they've recorded and they've digitized it and uploaded it, and that's the only record we have of whatever it is. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I have, on my horror sci-fi audiobook channel has come from Internet Archive.
Professor Cringe for y'all that
Professor Cringe, yeah.
I don't know where to go. Yeah, it'd be really neat to see. You know how they have like the seed bank in Norway and all that kind of stuff? It'd be really neat to see someone almost take the Internet Archives and try to, it'd be a lot of paper and all that kind of stuff, but maybe bring it back into an actual physical sense to have a legitimate library of all these things as well. Because, like you said, that server gets wiped out one afternoon, or an EMP of some sort, some freak accident happens and the breaker flips, or the telephone pole outside breaks and a little EMP blast happens, whatever, some little science fiction thing happens for half a second and we're all screwed,
Well, look at how much content people have created in the digital age. That's not printed material,
No.
I mean, we're still finding, every few years it seems like somebody finds an old Doctor Who reel that has been lost to the BBC, and it's the only copy in the world. And we get a new Doctor Who episode from 1959 or whenever.
Right.
And so, and also Doctor Who audio plays that keep showing up that the BBC lost track of or don't have copies of anymore.
And people keep animating them, which is pretty cool.
And that is the greatest thing. It's cool as shit, man.
That's going to be one of the things that actually allows me to jump in and watch those old Doctor Who's, because y'all know I'm weird about all my chronology, so got to go.
Right.
But that's going to be fun.
So yeah, I encourage everybody to be an archivist. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Find stuff on the internet or in your own archives and just save it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be around forever.
Most thing you have to spend doing it is your time. And then again, it's just as good a use of your time as anything else, realistically.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, we got Passengers. Is Johnny Mnemonic a novel first?
Johnny Mnemonic, I think, was graphic novel. I'm not sure.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm writing down. Okay, so we can go.
I think maybe it was a short story or novella or something.
Could be.
Okay. Passengers was a novel prior to the film, right? I'm pretty positive they made it off of a book.
Yeah.
Juliet brought back Nosferatu. She said it's always been labeled as sci-fi. I don't know if that's like sci-fi, like it was labeled as sci-fi in like the 1800s or something, and now it's because now it just feels a little bit more fantastical. I guess vampires, like we kind of mentioned, could be sci-fi in a way, but I think that grays. If we include Nosferatu, it might gray it up a little bit.
Yeah,
nay.
I say nay on it. I mean, I get the argument, but I think for our purposes,
simplify it.
Yeah.
Kiss, keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Stormy, you agree or what you thinking?
Well, I found that I found a link to somebody that sells these thumb drives on eBay. So I'm gonna send it into our chat.
Yeah, private chat and the other one. Private chat, I can actually like link it and bring it up.
Yeah, let me try to get it in the.
Sweet.
Alita
Battle Angel. That was a book prior because.
Yeah, Battle Angel. That was a yeah. I think wasn't that a graphic novel too? I'm not sure. But anyway, the eBay link, Space City Comics. I bought a lot of stuff from them. A lot. I have a binder full of thumb drives of stuff I have bought from Space City Comics. And I first discovered all of this when I found I was trying to get back issues of Omni. I was just wanting to the printed versions. And there's like an issue here, issue there. Then I found this guy with the whole shebang, all 206 issues on a thumb drive. So I carried it around on my phone and my iPad.
This guy right here, Space City Comics?
Yeah, in orbit since 1980 something.
Yep.
81.
1981. I graduated high school in 1980. Yeah, so I mean, he's got like 10 pages of these. A lot of them are vintage comics. Some are, National Geographic, not too bad.
Amazing stories.
Yeah, amazing stories.
Sequel to Dunkirk.
394 issues of amazing stories on thumb drive. And it's $14. Can't beat it. I mean, that's a lot of reading.
Yeah.
That's a lot. There's a lot of good stuff. Witch's Tales, Goblin.
Crochet Today.
You
and there's one in here I found. It's electric cars, but it's from the 1900s.
Oh.
Ooh, Psychotronic. That's another good one. 49. I don't have that one. Psychotronic, yeah.
Yeah, literal 10 pages of it. Oh, and items per page. We need 72 pages. Or so. There's more than just 10 pages. There's 14. There might be more. Yeah, there's still plenty. There's plenty of these things.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can definitely go through a paycheck on this. And he's totally legit. You know, these are stuff that's passed into the public domain, but it's passed into the public domains, and it's kind of disappearing. So pick your genre: horror, sci-fi, vintage stuff, comic books. Yeah.
All right. Real quick, we got Philadelphia Experiment. I'm trying to just look up. Y'all need to get those thumbnails though. Internet Archive and thumbnails. We're all going to end up meeting up and plugging our thumbnails one day.
We should have a show just about these finds we find. You know.
Oh, you know. Did you ever play the game on Wikipedia? I forget what it was, but it was kind of when Wikipedia was newer, and people would say, "Okay, how many articles does it take till you get to the article about Jesus?" Like it was one of those things where it's like how many degrees of separation and kind of thing. But it was like, okay, you pick somebody, and it was always just Jesus because that was like the simple one. Like, okay, everyone's gonna find a way. Everything in the world will correlate back to it somehow, some way. So it was like, how many? You start here, you start here, you start here, and you start here. Who gets there first? And how many degrees of separation was it? Kind of deal. We could totally do that same thing with the archive stuff and make a game out of it. But that would also be a long stream, but it would be fun.
Yeah.
The entire time you were saying everything, I was just thinking about that.
I've never heard of that.
Really, you would love it. Of all
and
people,
I'm older than the internet, so yeah, that's kind of that's amazing.
A crochet today and a fruit-based drink for the ladies.
Right. Yes. Oh, some of those older magazines are horrifically misogynist, so just be warned.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, there are a few of those front covers I kind of had to scroll past a little faster. I was like, we're going to demonetize real quick if we're not.
Yeah, it was great in the 50s, but it demonetized you now. So
yeah,
I'm not sure if that's progress or what.
Well, great in the 50s, and now you can go on it even easier now, but it will still demonetize you all at the same time.
Right.
Consistency is nowhere. Are graphic novels included in this? Yeah. Okay, real quick. I don't know if Doctor Who comics would count. Should we? Because that's also a bit fantastical. Should we do it just for the sake of it?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, real quick. There were a few more, and then I'm going to go ahead because we have a big old list. So I'm going to start naming these things off, and we can start scratching. A Scanner Darkly is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that movie in a few years. Talk about some cool freaking CG and stuff. No shit. Excuse my French there, but is that what Nosferatu supposed to be?
What was that?
A group of vampires crash land on Earth in the 15th century? Is that what Nosferatu is supposed to be?
I don't remember the crash. No, I don't think so. I don't think.
Who knows? Anyway,
Julia,
that's
really interesting. Let us know.
That's like horror with sci-fi elements to me.
Yeah, I could see that too. Philadelphia Experiment? That's not the movie Philadelphia. I can't. It sounds familiar. I just don't know if I recognize it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that story is.
Like, it sounds familiar, but I also literally just could be thinking of the movie Philadelphia. The Matrix. The Matrix was not a novel. I believe a novelization of The Matrix has happened since, but I don't believe it was a novelization first. The Fly. Okay. Y'all ready? I'm going to go ahead and start reading these things off, and if I missed any or if y'all can think of anything else, holler.
Okay.
Old Yorkshire Life Force.
Oh, great movie.
What? What?
Oh yeah, right. Not Nosferatu Chronicles. That was that's kind of recent, within the last 10 years. Nosferatu Chronicles.
Oh, I was thinking it was like the OG story or something.
Yeah, that kind of threw me.
Right.
I love it. I like the idea of it. I don't know, has it been made into films or anything like that? Because that's what we're looking at for, not just like the novels themselves. It's like the best adapted screenplay. So screenplay coming from a novel that has been adapted for the screen, essentially. For the silver screens. It was based on an alleged true story about making a ship invisible. Wait, hang on. You can't show... Oh. I brought that up before reading that one, Mike. Time Machine. Great one, Monk. Mm-hmm. Pretty much any movie from H.G. Wells, yeah.
Yeah.
Arthur C. Clarke, Asimov, H.G. Wells, Time Machine. We'll go ahead and toss it.
Here's one. This is a book that the category is book turned into a movie, correct? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Book, novellas, etc.
So, are we nominating the book, or are we nominating the film?
The film, because it's the screenplay from it.
Okay, so I want to nominate. This is one of the first movies I've ever seen as a kid. So, Edgar Rice Burroughs' The Land That Time Forgot. It's one of the first times I read the book early on, and my aunt took me to see the movie in Princeton, West Virginia. And God knows it seems like 1,000 years ago, but Land That Time Forgot. Edgar Rice Burroughs.
I feel like you've told me about that one before. It sounds familiar. I feel like we talked about it whenever we started joking about the Land of the Lost one day.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was, it's a very similar story. You know, I'm sure it helped inspired it. It's got everything you want. You know, Nazi warfare, dinosaurs, cavemen.
Indiana Jones meets Star Wars meets.
Oh, it was. I mean, this was Burroughs, right? And it was. When did it actually come out? Okay, so the film came out in '74.
Oh, okay. So that one, maybe people won't be as familiar with it, but we'll see if it'll last.
I was 11.
Hunger Games.
Hunger?
Just set my marker down. Oh, there it is. I was going to go crazy for a second.
Is that truly science fiction, though? Again, that's more like dystopian future, sort of.
That's good.
Yeah, because I saw it earlier and I thought about it. I forgot to say something because I was thinking it's not fantasy. It's just apocalyptic, essentially, not necessarily science fiction. I guess apocalyptic is science fiction by definition, but it's also loose, very loose.
Yeah.
Ooh, John Carter. John Carter of Mars. Perfect.
John Carter of Mars. One last note on The Land That Time Forgot. It was written by Burroughs in 1918. The story is more than 100 years old. And if you read the book or see the movie, you will be astounded at how much of a visionary Burroughs was, and he doesn't get nearly enough credit. I mean, all that, all the visionary stuff gets sucked up Arthur C. Clarke and Isaac Asimov, but Burroughs had it going on. Just saying. Okay, I'm no longer ranting about Burroughs. I'll think of something else.
Yeah, well, we need some Burroughs in our lives. I just Googled it. I didn't realize the Riddick movies. I didn't realize Riddick were books. I guess Pitch Black is based off of a book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I didn't realize it was a series as well. Well, yeah. We'll do Chronicles of Riddick or Pitch Black. Which one should we do?
Pitch Black.
Pitch Black.
What about Terminator?
Terminator novel first?
Yeah, that was, oh God, it's that snarky little writer. Oh, what was his name? I'll have the name here in a second.
I read the original Dracula. God, it was shot boring. Riddick. Well, we put Pitch Black down just because that's the first film, and it's
right.
I guess, is it considered the greatest of them? I would probably.
I think.
We have Edge of Tomorrow down there as well. Should I go ahead and start just reading some stuff off? Y'all ready to start crossing?
Yeah.
Actually, we're on a whiteboard, so this is going to be even more dastardly for the ones that get crossed out, because it's not getting crossed out. It's going away. It's got the mighty eraser. You think the pen was mighty. The eraser is even mightier here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, be wary. Don't you mean live, die, repeat? Yeah. Yep. All of you. All right. You ready? If you hear something that does not belong here and it's not going to make it into the next round, shout it out or type it in as fast as you can, and we will.
Okay, so going back to Terminator, it was from a story by Harlan Ellison that would appear. It was an episode of The Outer Limits that Harlan Ellison wrote called The Soldier. And there's a lot of charges of plagiarism against the Terminator script way back in the day, the original Terminator. And I mean, it is so close that you cannot claim that was not lifted. Yeah. So Harlan Ellison wrote. He's credited in the film.
Well, would that be film, or would that be? I guess that would be the film as well, because I guess that's not The Outer Limits.
Well, it was a short story by Harlan Ellison that got picked up by Outer Limits that became the Terminator.
Aye.
So it was one of the.
This would just be Terminator, not T2, I guess.
Correct. It was it was like for the Terminator ID, a robot who kills people in the past.
Yeah, let's do it. Because the one thing that was kind of throwing me off there, because we talked about her. It might have been last week, actually. The lady that won the lawsuit, or won, I guess, out of court settlement, didn't win the lawsuit for the Matrix and the Terminator stuff, that claims she wrote the story that led into both of them. But yeah.
Also, let me rant a little bit about Harlan Ellison. Harlan Ellison was a cantankerous individual. He had a couple shows. I mean, he not reality shows, but he just had like discussion shows on Sci-Fi Channel way back in the early day, and he was a prolific writer. You'll find a lot of his writing in Pulp Fiction, especially in the sci-fi horror section. And I think you can find a lot of his stuff also in these Internet Archive and thumb drives off of eBay. Done with Harlan.
Y'all got Edgar Rice Burroughs and, oh my God, I got one name. Harlan Ellison.
Yes, Harlan Ellison.
I'm not messing up on the names. I got this. Now, speaking of names, we have a lot of names to be crossing out, or not crossing out, erasing.
Right.
What are we going to start with? If y'all hear it, holler, and we got this. Booyah. The Martian, Ready Player One, Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Okay. It is gone. Do we agree?
Yeah.
We're trying to whittle it down to 4. So we got a few.
Yeah.
Love Total Recall, but adios. That eraser did not work on there. Oh my God, what happened? Anyway, so Martian, Ready Player One, iRobot, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, The Thing, Dune, Forbidden Planet.
iRobot.
Okay.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I love it, but I agree.
Yeah.
Also, my next one's going to be The Thing to take off.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It's more horror. It is science fiction-y, but
with Dune.
Yeah.
There's too many good ones.
I mean, you know.
Right.
So we've got Dune, and I guess Do Android Dream of Electric Sheep is really Blade Runner, because we're doing the screenplay and not the actual novel. But Dune, Forbidden Planet, Contact, The Fly, Children of Men, Dread, Doc Who.
I would do Contact and Forbidden Planet. I don't know.
I got to keep
Forbidden
Contact.
Planet, maybe. Contact.
I would axe Dread and I would axe Dread before axing Contact.
I as much as I don't want to, I think Dread and The Fly are probably not going to
I would agree.
Further, even though I really love both.
Mm-hmm.
And Forbidden Planet, I love it, but I'm kind of with you. I don't know if it's going to last. Take it. How are we thinking?
I'm fine with. I mean, we gotta like slash and burn here, right? So.
Oh, we are slashing and burning here.
There's gonna be some pain. There's gonna be some pain coming, Lady Queen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do we keep? Mark is going to be angry at us immediately. But do we keep Doc Who?
No.
Sorry, Mark.
I mean, was that actually a book before?
Yeah, he was talking about the novelizations, I guess, prior to the radio plays, is what he was discussing.
Right.
But wasn't it a? I didn't think.
But
it was
also, Doc Who's TV. That doesn't belong here one way or another.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah. Sorry.
And are we looking for stuff that's like a novel directly to movie? Because there's some stuff where it's like, oh, there's this book or series of comics, and then they made a movie out of it. It's not like a direct book to movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's kind of, I guess, that Dread kind of territory and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get rid of Doctor Who. Bennett. Remember, this is all about plot, right? Yeah. This is not like our favorite. This is like the one that, which is kind of how 2001 and Alien and those other ones were nominated for the last one. It's like, here you are. But here we go. Children of Men, Jurassic. Okay, here we go. Jurassic Park, Edge of Tomorrow, Cloud Atlas, War of the Worlds, Arrival, The Running Man.
What was the last one?
The Running Man.
I'd do Arrival and The Running Man.
Yeah, I
Running
think
Man. Children of Men, not Children of Men. I mean, it's good, but
I think Children of Men's gone as well. I just don't think it's going to last all of it. Y'all agree?
Yeah, it's hard to say no to the classics.
It is, and like I know you just said Arrival, but plot-wise, it does stand with the best of them here. Oh, but then we get a double Arrival, get rid of. Okay, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. The axes have spoken.
Compared to some of the other stuff on the list, no.
Yeah.
By the way, my eraser, this was not a great idea. My eraser stopped working the second I said I was about to use it. I had to get a little wet wipe and get everything off of this thing. Now, on to another little round. Minority Report, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Bicentennial Man, I Am Legend, Starship Troopers, and Johnny Mnemonic. I think Johnny's going.
I would say Minority Report.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get rid of Minority Report. And I'm just trying to remember all these names. So I'm like, what did you say again?
Yeah, I'm going like I remembered one.
Maybe you should do just like 3 at a time or something.
Yeah, so I can remember.
The ones we have left just from that last one is 5 left. Is Hitchhiker's Guide, I Am Legend, Bicentennial Man, and Starship Troopers.
Bicentennial Man has to go.
And Bicentennial Man and what was the other?
I Am Legend, Hitchhiker's
I Am Legend,
Guide.
yes. That one, no.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Hitchhiker's Guide has got to live forever. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
God bless Douglas Adams.
It's going to be up there. And then Starship Troopers, Hitchhikers and Starship. Keep both for now into the next kind of round.
Keep both for now, yeah.
Okay. Next up, I'm gonna do 4.
Starship Troopers was Heinlein, right? Was that correct? Heinlein was Starship Troopers?
I think
Robert
so.
Heinlein?
Right, yeah. Because, Highlands, Juveniles, and all that. We had a big old conversation about all that.
Okay, yeah. I thought that was right.
Yeah, I still need to read Highlands, Juveniles. Every time I see Starship Troopers or think about Heinlein, that comes to mind just because I still haven't sat down to do it. But Passengers, Logan's Run, Alita Battle Angel, and then Tomorrow War.
Passengers, definitely.
Passengers and Alita.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes Alita. Hate to see it,
Sorry,
but
Alita.
it was going to happen. It was going to happen. I love the Tomorrow's War as well, but I agree with Monk. It's you go down and take it.
Yep.
Right.
I'm good.
Sorry, Pratt. Passenger.
I've never seen
just
it.
eliminated Chris Pratt. Tomorrow's War and Passengers.
Oh, I did watch that. Was that like it was like an Amazon movie? Oh yeah, right. I did see it. Okay.
Not a good plot, which is what we're going for here, but a damn good effects. Damn good effects.
Mm-hmm.
Starship Troopers needs a remake. I think it's time. It still stands the test of time. It's still so good.
Kind of does.
It's a cult classic.
It is.
But I also see what you're saying. I get it.
Next.
Not a book. Was it not?
I don't know.
Anyway, we crossed it off, so whatever.
Yeah, either way.
It is a doornail as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
We have 2 more rounds of 4, so we're getting there. We're actually crossing off fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Scanner Darkly left, The Philadelphia Experiment, Life Force, and our OG, Mr. H.G. Wells, The Time Machine.
Scanner Darkly.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
love it.
That's what I'm leaning that. Yeah, Scanner Darkly's got to go.
Honestly, I would take them all off outside of Time Machine personally, but what are y'all thinking?
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I loved the book. The movie was varied a lot from the book, and I didn't like the movie that much.
For Scanner Darkly?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or which one? Life Force?
Time Machine.
Time Machine. Ooh.
And a Scanner Darkly, it was. Well, I mean, there's still good stories, but there was something lacking when it got to the silver screen.
We have 2 immediate keep time machines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's keep them in there. Then we can take them out later.
I would keep it in there just for the sake of what it is for now. And also, are you thinking the old film or the new film?
Oh, I'm thinking the one, was it circa 2002?
Oh.
I actually don't know if I've seen
the old one. The new one's not great.
Mm-hmm.
The old one is.
I like the one I watched in like English class kind of deal, like
right. Yeah. I mean, the effects are, but it was of its time. So
the old film. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Monk was thinking the one with Guy Pearce. That's the 2002, 5, whatever it was. I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, that one was not.
Time Machine 2002 with Guy Pearce. Yeah.
Okay.
That one was.
All right.
Stuff.
Our final list of the ones that have yet to be scratched.
Okay.
The Land That Time Forgot.
Keep it. Excellent film.
Pitch Black. John Carter of Mars.
John Carter.
And Terminator.
John Carter.
And
Terminator.
Both those just hurt my heart so much.
Yeah, and I agree with Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Terminator, it was robots killing people. I mean, that the day the Earth stood still, kind of, seen before.
Yep.
Land That Time Forgot. I see. I'm kind of. It sounds fun. I do like it. I like the idea of it, but I don't know if Land That Time Forgot will last.
You got to have some Edgar Rice Burroughs love. I'm just.
We'll let it go to the next round.
Okay, let it go to the next round.
Because we haven't heard anybody else say. There was just the one. I preferred Princess
Secular
and Mark
Monk.
over John
I
Carter.
thought you loved me.
But Pitch Black. Do we get Vin Diesel to stay here for a little bit? Or do we go?
I mean, let's get, renegade space prisoner turns out to be anti-hero during an alien invasion. Haven't really seen that. That was, there's a lot of originality there.
And for the plot of the film and everything, it's good. It's
the only other kind of sci-fi prisoner-esque kind of thing turns anti-hero is, Snake Plissken, Escape from New York.
Yeah. As Stormy says, we can always kick it out later. And also, y'all listen to David.
Thank you, Secular Monk. Thank you.
He was like, I had to throw away your movie, but I'm going to compliment you right after. Don't worry.
See, great guy. He's going to be a diplomat one day. Best we got.
I think Monk already is. He's been secular about it, though, I don't know. But Pitch Black was great. Okay, well, we'll keep it for another round. Okay, so going into the next round, this is what we have left, y'all. We've got The Martian, Ready Player One, Blade Runner, Dune. I'm going to just, one full list before we actually start crossing so we can just wrap our heads around it all.
Okay.
The Martian, Ready Player One, Blade Runner, Dune, Contact, Jurassic Park, Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat, War of the Worlds, Cloud Atlas, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Starship Troopers, Logan's Run, The Time Machine, The Land That Time Forgot, and Pitch Black.
God, this is going to be a bloody round.
This is going to be hard.
Yeah, I've already got targeted Cloud Atlas. That's already on my shit list. But let's go through it formally and
What were you saying, Sarah?
Well, I was voting Ready Player One and Cloud Atlas. I agree with.
I'm there with Sarah too on Ready Player One.
I love them both, but I'm sadly there too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom. And
it's a good story. I don't know if it's a great story, and the movie was. It changed a lot of stuff in the movie from the book too.
Yeah.
The Cloud Atlas.
Ready Player.
Oh, Ready Player 2. Yeah. Or Ready Player 1. Ready Player 2. I still haven't read that one. I have it upstairs as well. You have to read it. Grammar. I can bin 8 straight away. LOL. Contact sucks. The Riddick movie sucked. Pitch Black was great. So I guess we still have Pitch Black technically, but we have 2 no contacts. Yeah. Contact going to take out?
I thought we already crossed that off. We didn't? Okay.
New Contacts is the Carl Sagan.
No, I would agree.
FYI, where Contact was filmed here in New Mexico, near Socorro. I've been there a few times, took a lot of pictures. It's an amazing place. I actually found the place where Jodie Foster was sitting next to her car, listening to the signals. And there's just one scene, it's a close up. She's wearing like a straw hat and got headphones on. And so I'm going to actually do a cosplay photo of me sitting in the same spot with the same outfit. I just can't find the ring for my cosplay. So we're keeping contact.
We're keeping contact. Just kidding. It may already be a little scratched.
But I will say, Contact, the movie versus Contact, the book was kind of straight on. They did combine 2 other characters into Arroway's character. I think just for the movie because it kind of had to be done. Otherwise, it gets really unwieldy.
Right.
But and I met Carl Sagan when I was a very young boy.
Cool.
Hey, Sagan. Mm-hmm. I wonder how you got into science. That'll do it right there.
If you want to hear the story, I mean, it'll take a minute or two. But when I was living growing up in West Virginia, my grandparents would always take us on some little trip, someplace in the state, just to do something. And one day we were going someplace. We topped this ridge, this mountain, and there was this sign: "No radios allowed." And in the valley below was all of these radio dishes. and my little, tech brain, nerd brain just lost. I mean, oh my God, let's go. So my grandfather relented, and we took the tour, and it was like, oh, over here is this radio dish, just listening to this range of frequencies. Over here is the ball field where the scientists play baseball sometimes. Over here is the dormitory, and there's a short film at the visitor center, and we'll do that last. So there was this short film on SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. This is early 70s. And it blew my mind because I was getting into ham radio in those days. And it was about, we're putting all these signals out into space, but what if we flipped it and listened for somebody else's signals? And it was delivered by this guy with this really unique accent, and he was really good explaining things. My grandfather, borderline illiterate, asked him something about the wheels or putting air pressure in a tire on the moon buggy. And he explained it, how there's no tires. It's really the wheels of spring. And he explained it in such a way that my grandfather understood it. I mean, they talked for several minutes. Then years later, there's this science show coming out on TV called Cosmos. And I was all excited. I had my notebook, had my little tape recorder to record the audio. I was going to just download the knowledge of the universe. And here comes this guy with this familiar accent with billions and billions of stars in the universe. And I lost my mind because that was the guy at SETI. So I met Carl Sagan before he was Carl Sagan, and he had a gift to explain really complicated things. Sagan was absolutely amazing, and there's not one like him since.
Yeah, and I mean, not just explain them, but explain them in an interesting way that gets youth into science, which is hard to do. Like,
it's if he could reach my grandfather, he can reach anybody.
Oh yeah, I love some Neil deGrasse Tyson, but Sagan's just on a different level. Like,
Tyson's good. I mean, but Sagan was one of a kind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a cool story. But, who else have you met before they actually were the famous versions of themselves?
Well, I bet you, Harris. You're going to be famous someday.
I'll take it. I don't know. Fingers crossed. I don't want to be famous. Maybe my work would be famous. I'll take that one.
We're going to find out someday that Sarah's going to be famous, but she's going to turn out to be some sort of crypto meme lord.
Sarah's actually
like 10,000 Bitcoin stashed on a tweeted server somewhere.
$42 billion of Ethereum just hanging out,
Sarah's going to be famous too.
You know my secret.
She didn't say no. I'm just saying. Her and Brit have been stockpiling.
We're preppers. That's what.
David B certainly has me nailed.
All the preppers. It makes sense.
Secularment's got me nailed too, along with David B. Yeah.
Stormy the Gray.
Stormy the Gray. That's the truth.
When do you get your Saruman arc?
When do I get my Saruman arc?
Because Gandalf turns into Saruman. Gandalf the White is essentially Saruman, but
as soon as I find one of these hats, a white one on Amazon. I've got like 4 or 5 of these colors, and there's just like one. They sell them on Amazon. So every once in a while, I'll find a new color purchase. Not famous, infamous.
Yeah.
Real quick, because Quest was saying Maze Runner, Divergent, and Hunger Games. We talked about Hunger Games and decided it was just more dystopian than it was actual science fiction.
I think we've made our list.
Yeah,
there's probably other things that could. There's always things you can add.
Always.
And as fun as they are, we know they would already be crossed off this list. Right. So we can include them, but we're not. Right. We're past where they would be technically. Just being famous for eating your partner account. What happened there?
Well, there's a lot of famous cannibals these days in history.
Well, Armie Hammer. Anyway.
I think we get rid of Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Live, die, repeat, or whatever the hell. But
shove it right off the deck.
Yeah.
Ooh, Event Horizon would have been a good one, JT.
Yeah.
Would Event Horizon still be there?
No.
I don't think it would be either.
No.
But
I mean, it
great.
was okay, but it
Great.
was. I don't even think it worked that well as a horror movie.
No, it's a great suggestion, but I don't think it would be here for this part of the list. Y'all, because we kind of been talking for a second, shall I read the list one more time just to get it back to our heads? Sure. We've got, because we just took off tomorrow, what was it? Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Now we have The Martian, Blade Runner, Dune, Jurassic Park. I mean, can we just stop there? I'm kidding. War of the Worlds, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Pitch Black, The Time Machine, The Land That Time Forgot, Logan's Run, and Starship Troopers.
Jurassic Park.
Yorkshire did bring up a good one. Would we keep would any variation of a Mary Shelley's Frankenstein film be in there? I don't know if it would have lasted to this round. I think De Niro's Frankenstein is a
it's worth the
worthy
list,
nomination. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, frankly, De Niro. I mean, in terms of film story, I think De Niro's is. I mean, that version of Frank was probably the best, but I don't think anyone's done Shelley justice yet in cinema. I just don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really hoping that Yet is solved by Mr. Guillermo del Toro this year.
Fingers crossed.
Big freaking fingers crossed. We watched Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, the other day while we were doing a round of cards.
Such a good movie.
So good. It is so good.
Damn. I mean,
I wish it makes sense why they never made it. The third one, I guess, monetarily. Come on, let them make the movie. Anyway. Monk is saying keep Jurassic Park. Maybe I'm parched. Pitch Black, Land That Time Forgot, and Starship Troopers ought to go. Ben, Troopers and Logan's Run, Troopers and Park by. I don't think we can toss Park by. Jurassic Park changes movies forever. Keep Jurassic Park. I agree. I'm okay with Logan's Run going. Y'all okay with Pitch Black, Land That Time Forgotten, Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
To get rid of or
to go?
Yeah.
Pitch Black.
I like Pitch Black, but
Land of Time.
When it comes to the actual films, I don't know if these guys stand up to it.
Maybe something else. I'm undecided on those three titles. Let's go to something else.
Well, I might have already scratched out Land That Time Forgot. So I don't know if that one's it's not gonna last. It's great. No. I don't know if it'll last.
I gotta keep Burrows going as long as I can, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, and it made it into the final 1, 2, 3, 4,
well,
5, 6, 7,
I will
8, 9,
say
10.
if it's Burrows versus Sagan, fuck Burrows. Who needs some Burrows?
Right. Did we keep or lose contact? I don't remember.
Right now, we're still struggling.
We what? We kept it? Okay.
No, we lost it.
Oh. Okay.
Because there were 3 or 4 commenters saying that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. The democracy got us that
They'll
time.
hate Gary Foster.
I don't think Pitch Black is an adaptation. It was written for the screen.
Yeah. I'm fine with getting rid of Pitch Black, even though I really like it. I think it's really good.
Me too. Sorry, Claudia. Sorry, Vin. Y'all are dead. Best film version of Mary Shelley's book Frankenstein is obviously Frankenweenie. The bad thing is I don't 100% disagree.
I did like Frankenweenie. That was very clever.
Give me some burn. I'm with you. I love it so much, but I don't know if
we're doing best. I don't know. It's a favorite.
Oh, it's a favorite.
But I don't know if it's best. Yeah.
The only other one that was named out of that last little round of things that should go was I swear I just saw someone say Logan's Run. Am I crazy?
No, I think somebody said I'm fine
Ben
with
Troopers and Logan's Run.
Yeah. Yep. Good with that.
Logan's Run.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can't find any reference where Pitch Black was a piece of literature before it became a film. It seems like it was just a film.
We love it so much we snuck it in there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Michael, Frank and Weenie rocks, both Burton flicks. Hell yeah. We have a pretty solid list. Before we go any further, do we want to keep the time machine?
No.
Yeah.
That's the one that's kind of sneaking down in there. And now we're down to our top 6. We have to eliminate 2.
Oh,
and we're at 58 minutes. This might be like our best time thing ever.
Can we read off what the 6 are again? I've got 5.
We've got.
We got to get rid of 2, correct? We got to get rid of 2.
Yeah.
We have to get rid of 2. I'm gonna go in order of release date from oldest to newest.
Oh, good idea. Okay.
Film wise, and I guess Dune. I'm gonna count the new Dune, so I won't. Actually, I'll count Lynch's Dune. Okay. Anyway, Blade Runner, Dune, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Jurassic Park, War of the Worlds, and The Martian.
War of the Worlds. And the Martian.
Yeah, that's the easiest.
Yep.
Okay, down to our 5. We need one more gone. One more gone.
The Martian. War of the Worlds and The Martian. Those were my get rid ofs. Love me some Andy Weir. Can't wait to see Rocky in the new film, but
I would take out Hitchhikers over Martian.
Oh God!
I love Hitchhikers.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about actual
we're talking about best, yeah.
We're talking about the screenplay, like the film, not necessarily the book it came from, like the film and the book itself.
Right.
And I love some Martin Freeman, but
yeah, Hitch can hitch.
Ian's with you. But David also said get rid of Hitch.
In War of the Worlds, yeah.
We got it.
Oh, this was painful. I gotta go cry someplace.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But our final 4 freaking sci-fi adaptations are pretty damn solid.
I mean they are world renowned. Let's not.
The Martian, which is the most modern, recent of it, which is nice to have a little recency on there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Jurassic frickin' Park, Dune, and Blade Runner. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Like,
yeah.
None of those are shabby.
None of those are shabby.
Everyone was transformational in the way humans see themselves.
In a big way on all those.
And I will say the things, if you go back to when the book was originally published, God, was that the 80s?
Which one?
Jurassic Park.
Oh, no.
Michael Crichton. He was prescient. I mean,
the book came out in the 80s, movies in 90s, and the first 3 movies anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think the film came out in 94, so the book I want to say it was like 86 or 88.
Let's see. Wikipedia says the novel came out in November 20th, 1990.
Never mind.
399 pages.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember. I actually went to the bookstore on the first day it was on sale to buy it because I'd heard so much about it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a really good back in. God, I don't even know if the New York Times has a book section anymore. But it was just, they had a review of it and I read in the paper and it was, I got to go. This is just insane. And I was always a fan of Michael Crichton. And this may be one of his best books ever.
We missed Andromeda Strain. Which
The which
would have
one?
been Andromeda Strain.
Oh,
That's really good. I don't think it would have made the final, but
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I know some people will put, also puts COVID in the science fiction section, but
the Rona wins it all. Jurassic Park wasn't even published when Spielberg optioned it, but it still came out at least a couple years prior to.
oh yeah, it was totally, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Spielberg options. He gets the rough drafts of a lot of books, and he has a habit. I mean, he's probably got hundreds of books he's optioned, and just that DreamWorks is still sitting on, for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, that's the best job ever, is to be such a renowned film director that people that aren't even done with their books are like, hey, this is gonna be a book that I think is really good. Would you like to read it? It's like, oh.
Yeah.
But of course. Dark Star. I don't know if I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I've seen it. Man, was that in the 80s? 87? Dark Star.
This was 1974, sci-fi comedy, an hour and a half.
Okay, so yeah, there was the original Dark Star was 1919. Then there's one in 1955. Then there's one in 1974. I think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
There's also one in 1978, and there's Dark Star H.R. Giger's World, which was a documentary, 2014.
Okay. It says Dark Star heavily inspired Alien. That's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, before we do what we did last week, and say which one of these we think will win, and which one of these is our favorite of the bunch that we would hope to win, but we don't know if it'll actually do it, And sometimes they probably are the same thing, but it just depends. Before we do that, I thought, since I did have this, we might as well go through this little list of stuff and see if we missed something. Because there are a few that I think we missed, but
Mm-hmm.
I think our final four are our final four one way or another, and in a big way. So, shall we scroll?
Sure.
The Man Who Fell to Earth.
God
Pretty
bless
damn
you,
solid, but it wouldn't have lasted.
Mm-hmm.
2010, a little 2001 sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Cocoon.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Enemy Mine.
Hey, look, Contact. It made somebody's list. Didn't make ours.
The Iron Giant. Forgot that one.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much, but it wouldn't have gone all the way.
No.
AI, artificial intelligence, would have been a good one.
That was a depressing movie.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt so bad for Jude Law, or his character.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's so good.
And Robin Williams was uncredited in that film, Artificial Intelligence.
Yeah, we got two Robbie Williams right next to each other. Not Robbie, excuse me. I guess that's an actual person. Robin Williams.
Right, AI and Bicentennial Man.
I can't believe the new Time Machine made it. That was a terrible movie, I thought. But
on 2002, I was thinking about like 1970s, right, or something in here. Minority Report, Solaris. Oh, we forgot Solaris.
Paycheck. Paycheck sucks.
I wasn't familiar with Paycheck. We did War of the Worlds. Oh, we forgot Paprika and Prestige. Prestige. We talked about those before this stream, Stormy and I, and both great. But The Last Mimsy.
I mean, the Prestige is kind of a Victorian film.
Yeah, it falls into that. It's got science stuff, but like it's the C plot is what. Well, I guess the C plot still aids the A plot, but nonetheless.
I mean, if you watch any movie or TV show about the FBI, a modern FBI, it's kind of all sciencey, forensics and so forth. And Prestige is kind of like that. I mean, it discusses science, and now teleportation of top hats, that's another thing. But
yeah, that's a little wild. But God, like we talked about David Bowie. I'm thinking about Texas Knife for a second.
I was just thinking like David Bowie as Tesla was awesome.
Isn't it? It was, yeah.
And Andy Serkis as his like assistant, as his second in command.
Yeah.
Sign me up. If David Bowie weren't
Well,
dead,
I put in a motion to include The Prestige as an honorable mention because of David Bowie.
we shall.
Yeah.
We shall.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest of these are all freaking solid. But I think we would have ended up with the 4 we have.
Yeah, I think what we picked is better. I mean, they don't even have. Do they have Martian? I guess they do have Martian on the list.
Yeah, it's up here, I believe. Yeah. Predestination, I forget about that one. Mortal Engines, but that just didn't end up being a good movie.
Oh
No.
God, that movie was so disappointing. It was. I mean,
it's not
It's an interesting
a bad
concept.
movie.
I like it.
You just have the highest of expectations because you see this really cool concept and you're like, who directed it? We're getting Peter Jackson? Oh, and then you watch it, you're like,
how did it happen? How did it happen?
Yeah.
It's a great adaptation. Lord of the Rings, but
That was
great movie. Great TV series too. But we're talking about like the 70s movie. I don't think it would have lasted amongst everything. Great shout out though. That's an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Well, the original film, 1973 film Westworld, was written and directed by Michael Crichton.
No shit. He wrote the book. I knew that, but I guess I didn't realize he wrote the film. Did he have any involvement with HBO's version of it? I have no idea. Actually.
I think Crichton had passed away.
Oh yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
You could have had Peter Jackson's bad taste. No comment. I plead the fifth. If it is Lynch's Dune, it is down to Jurassic Park and Blade Runner for me. No, it's not Lynch's Dune. We're counting Dune and Dune Part 2 probably as a whole, kind of. Because that is one story, you know? Which is a little bit cheaty. But Denis allowed us to do it. So thank you, Mr. Villeneuve. Oh, excuse me, Monsieur. I can't. I'm not very good with the French stuff. Oops. HBO's version was Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. I just wasn't aware if they had like backup from the Crichton estate or himself or anything of that. Obviously, he has passed, so that's not possible. Bad Taste was an awesome film. Oh. Oops. I thought you were saying Peter Jackson was in Bad Taste. It was like, maybe all of his outside of Lord of the Rings films aren't the best. But they all have some really cool stuff.
So I think Westworld was originally just a screenplay.
Oh, really?
I don't think it was a book that came out that Crichton wrote. I think he wrote the screenplay and then directed. So it doesn't qualify for our criteria.
Dang.
Great, but yeah, great, absolutely great franchise.
We still love you, Michael Crichton. Because he's still got one on here. The old JP.
Oh, yeah.
Jurassic Park. So, with all of that in mind, after reading our little fun list, and, you know, we may have missed a couple of things, but we were going to whittle it down to these 4 one way or another. Westworld was a film first, David says. Traveler, you keep missing. Well, welcome. Oh, and Bo Zimmerman. That's a fun one. iRobot, we did write it down there. It sadly got cut off.
The X, yeah.
Now, when Foundation's around, I will be fighting for Foundation on the TV aspect of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be up in fisticuffs. You know, you ready? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That was last week for original screenplays. Close Encounters isn't a book, is it? I feel like I've seen the cover on a freaking book.
There's a novelization
of it,
Alan
right?
Author, but let me go look it up.
I guess one of the last things that we should do today is, it was a book. Oh, no way. Okay, well, oops. I don't think it made it into our final 4 anyway, so that's all right.
No.
It was up there. I have a list of 10.
Written by Steven Spielberg.
Ooh. Share it after we're done with this next little thing real quick. Sorry, I wrote about the movie shouldn't have counted as it was an original story with names changed to fit the novel. True, but it was just kind of an amalgamation of Asimov ideas in a little bit of a way, with, of course, changing it for the medium, and you have to do all that stuff.
Close Encounters was originally a screenplay by Spielberg.
Okay.
He originally pitched it to Columbia. And so, yeah, I think this doesn't fit our criteria. This is a original screenplay.
Okay, so that was last week. Published January 1st, 2978. Okay, so we have The Martian, Dune, Blade Runner, and Jurassic Park. Sarah, real quick, do you think any of these four have a particular edge over the others, and which one would be your personal favorite to choose out of it? What do you think will win, and what do you think is your favorite?
I think Dune will probably win it. My personal favorite is Blade Runner.
That makes sense. Stormy, Storm Bear, what you thinking?
Okay, so read the last four again.
We got The Martian, Blade Runner, Dune, and Jurassic Park.
Oh God, damn it! Wow.
It's a hard one.
So Dune is clearly my favorite, but I'm very biased for Dune. I mean, it's one I've been reading the books since as I was a kid when they first came out. Dune was actually one of the very first, one of the first, not the first, one of the first that actually included ecology into the plot. And living in coal country, you really become sympathetic to the idea of ecology. Mm-hmm. Dune's got to be my favorite, man. I mean, the films, Dennis's films are just impeccable. I mean, there's nothing I can bitch about them. I mean, Dune is my sci-fi version of The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings franchise. I mean, it's just incredible. Mm-hmm. But Jurassic Park, I just binged all of the 7 movies this last week before last. It's. I mean, I think Jurassic Park is a really good morality tale about what we are doing with. I mean, I'm definitely in Camp Ian Malcolm because we play with this shit. I mean, there's like a documentary on Netflix about people buying genomes off of eBay and Amazon and just whipping. There's this one guy trying to make glow-in-the-dark bulldogs or something like that. I mean, really, it was the documentary, and this stuff is really easy to do these days with a laptop and shit you buy off of it. I mean, so that's a really good morality tale because we seldom think about technology from when things go wrong. So, I mean,
so I'm not supposed to be doing that in my backyard?
No, you're not supposed to be growing glow-in-the-dark puppies.
Well, there were kittens. All the feral cats out here. The nature just keeps giving me them. What am I supposed to do?
You bring them in the house and you love them. All 50 of them. God, but these are tough choices. I mean, it's okay. So my favorite is the Dune.
Okay. Favorite is Dune?
Yeah. Oh, I can rant some more about Dune if you want me to.
Do you think that Dune will end up winning it? Out of the 4,
that Dune will do what?
I guess the question is also, which one is your favorite, and which one do you think is the most likely to win out of the 4? Do you think it is also the most likely to win, or do you think The Martian, Blade Runner, or Jurassic Park might sneak in there?
I think the possible winners in terms of how they got it right on the screen is going to be Blade Runner or Dune. Is the winner. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love me some Andy Weir. Told you all about but I don't think Martian is Dune or Blade Runner.
No,
Martian is like a whole an adaptation of For All Mankind on Apple TV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not that far in the future.
It's only science fiction because it's happening today.
Right. You know, and it's a tale of how we can overcome. You know, Jurassic Park's a tale about morality tale about our abuse of technology. Dune is just on this other fucking scale. So, but and also, you know, concerning Blade Runner, it's like it's another morality tale. I think of what our about our abuse of technology.
Mm-hmm. Kind of what is it to be human too?
Right.
It's got a lot wrapped into just one big gift.
Yeah.
And
even with the sequel, I think there's lots of lessons there in humanity versus the technology we unleash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Monk down here brought up a good point. I love Blade Runner and Dune. Jurassic Park is one of the main reasons I am a movie fan, though. Jurassic Park wins it for me.
See, these are, I mean, I'm right there with Succulent Monkey. I mean, these are tough decisions. I mean, you know, it's,
that's
I mean,
why
I mean, all of these are very special.
Very
special.
See, I'm kind of in between both y'all here. I'm very happy The Martian made it, like we just said, because it's the only hard sci-fi of the bunch where, like, okay, this could really happen. Like, this is legitimately like something that could happen. Where everything else is, well, I guess Blade Runner and Dune can happen, but that's kind of thousands of years off, you know. Jurassic Park, we might be able to do some stuff like it, but it's going to be for woolly mammoths and stuff like that we actually have DNA of living creatures that still resemble those, so on and so forth. Dune and Blade Runner, I think, are two big head honchos here. I think Dune is probably the most. No, I think Dune's my favorite of it, just because the encapsulating story that it is just. I love the scale of it, and that you get to spend time with the individuals at that grandiosity of scale at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Blade Runner is going to win it at overall. I think whenever we get down to our polls, however Jamie figures out how we do the polls without, I guess, letting everybody see what's winning and all that, I think Blade Runner is going to win. I just think it is that perfect kind of thing. It's new and old. If we're talking about the actual like plot of it, I don't know. I feel like it just might end out winning vote-wise. But Dune or Jurassic Park, I think, are very near runner-ups there. Are we veering from the focus on script and focusing on our favorite? No. We're discussing both while we're discussing all of it. But when voting, it'll be script, plot, script, film.
Right.
Yeah. Well, damn, that was an hour 20 of straight up actually staying on topic for a long time, which was a lot of fun.
I think we came up with a good list.
I think so.
Good. Yeah.
I tried to get you off topic on thumb drives. I really did my best.
But it was still like in topic. It still worked.
Yeah. But seriously, yeah, it's. I mean, somewhere I've got somewhere in storage. I've got this one sci-fi novel. It's not a sci-fi novel. It's a pulp magazine with a short story by who is it by? Isaac Asimov. And I've never seen the story ever mentioned before. I mean, I searched for it, and it's nowhere to be found on the internet. I mean, search Google, Bing, everybody, and it's just this one short story by, and so there's a lot being lost. And I just got to dig it out of storage and scan it and send it to this, Space City Comics guy and put it up on the archive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's literally, like you said, Harris, it's the Internet Archive is becoming the Library of Alexandria for the digital age.
Yeah. It's Library of Alexandria and Seed Bank kind of roped into one, like just on our computers. I'd really like to see it just brought into an actual library again, or Yeah, I mean, and with I'm also have worries about other libraries. Contemporary libraries,
should somebody get a wild streak, they could just close down the Library of Congress. You know?
Oh yeah,
I work there. I mean, Library of Congress is the print version of the Library of Alexandria because they've got a copy of damn near everything ever published on by mankind. They have reproductions of stuff that was in the Library of Alexandria, as far as we've been able to find it in other places, like in Rome or Middle East someplace. So I mean, it's just, we really have to do our best to save the culture of humanity. And some of these archives and libraries are kind of getting a lot of pressure on them to close. Even your local library, best thing ever. National parks, best thing ever. Don't close them.
Yeah. Don't want to get into politics, but national parks and libraries, if we're funding anything.
I mean, national parks was America's best idea. It spawned national parks across the world,
which have kept the world alive in a lot of ways. Like not just our world, but like the actual world anyway. We can get lost in the sauce on that one. But
yeah, and not that you want to build a cabin in Yellowstone and breathing sulfur.
Will I do it again? Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's we got to take care of everything that belongs to us.
Oh, and Mike, you know what? The Vatican has all that stuff stored as well. It would be really interesting to have Vatican records. If the Vatican records were done like an internet archive.
Or at least have the Vatican open to, non-religious scholars.
Yeah. Not even the public. Non-religious scholars would be optimal.
I mean, they probably have the best archive of the Dark Ages, of literature in the Dark Ages, you know.
In the world.
And who doesn't want to summon a demon, you know? Especially if your boss is an asshole. Summon a demon. Take it to work. Take your demon to work day. I'm all for it. I'm down.
I live in LA. I could summon about 10 demons and it not be half as bad as half the things I see most of the time. So
God,
give me the demons.
Why did you live there? I mean, I used to live in LA, bro, and I don't know how you stand it. I was just so much anxiety.
I leave as often as possible. But there's also so many fun things going on here. But take your demon to work day. I think Stormy's hat is too tight. Oh God.
Let me loosen it up a little bit. I've been doing too much necromancy this morning, I guess. It's starting to show.
Thank you for hanging, Juliet. I
appreciate it, Juliet.
Before we jump out of here, though, before we end it, what have we been watching this week?
This week, I just finished up For All Mankind last night, and then I started in on Carnival, the HBO show.
Carnival. Interesting. For All Mankind, didn't they just greenlight a Russian version of it, like to say the opposite side of the series or something like that?
I don't know. I mean, I understand there's another season coming. We got another season is being made. I heard some rumblings about more The Expanse, but from book 7, I think it was. It doesn't continue with the present day characters where we left off, but I heard of some rumblings there. I don't know if those are true or not. Jamie probably has text messages about all of that. But yeah, From All Mankind, as I understand it, it did get another season, whether it's focusing on the Russian side of things. Because I mean, if you look at the All Mankind and the Russians or the Soviet side of that, it's dark. Assassins, murders.
Really?
Oh! Have you seen For All Mankind?
No, I want to watch it so bad. I just haven't sat down to do it,
dude.
But I think this is supposed to be a sister series, so I think it's not just a new season, but I think it's a sister series to kind of like follow alongside.
God, that's just going to be. Oh my God.
That makes me want to jump in and just catch up as fast as possible.
Yeah, you definitely need to spend a weekend to catch up. I mean, it's
see, the one I need to do that first though is Cobra Kai, because I know the new Cobra Kai and all the Karate Kid stuff's actually coming out this year. So all my excuses have run dry on that one, and I need to just sit down and do it.
My cousin is a Cobra Kai fanatic.
Who is?
My cousin. I have a cousin that's a Cobra Kai fanatic. He won't shut up about it. God bless him. I watched a couple episodes. I could not get into it. I really was kind of disappointed. It was just not for me. But my cousin makes up for my lack of interest. Trust me.
Y'all know I'm crazy. Whenever I actually sit down to do it, I'm watching the Karate Kid 1, 2, 3, the next Karate Kid, the frickin' Jaden Smith movie, even though I'm going to sit through that one and roll my eyes the entire time. Every time Jackie Chan's on screen, I'll do a little holler, but then Jaden Smith pops on. I'm like, oh, come on. He's a kid actor in there. It's just fine, but the movie just doesn't stand up to the test of times, per se. And then I'll watch Cobra Kai, and then it'll be time for the frickin' the new Karate Kid, whatever it is. Can you still say kid? I was like, I don't know. But was that everything you watched this week, Stormy?
That was it. Yeah. The other thing I've been watching is tutorials for industrial statistics.
That sounds fun.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, I'm down to 2 more classes before I finish, and industrial stats is the next to last.
Almost there.
And it's
almost there.
Killing me.
But when it does kill you, you come back as Stormy the White instead of Stormy the Gray. Yeah. You get your upgrade.
So you're saying industrial stats is a Balrog? I feel that, bro. I think you're onto something. I really do. I think you're exactly right.
I took one statistics course in college. It was like my one math in college, and this is as close to a Balrog as I've ever freaking found.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a picture of Balrog in my final essay. P.S. Balrog. Oh, secular monk, you pipe down. I'm gonna pass it.
Crowd Sarah, what have you been watching this week?
Well, I'd never seen Forbidden Planet, so I watched that. So crossed an old movie off the list. I liked it. I mean, it's of its time for sure, but the concept of like spoiler alert for a movie that's 60 years old or older than that maybe. I like the whole thing of like that the monster was really that scientist guy's, subconscious or whatever. I guess they call it in the movie, but anyway, it was good. I mean, I liked it. I mean, it was a movie of that era. I can see where for that time it was a really good movie.
Yeah, groundbreaking.
I enjoyed it. My husband and I watched The Gorge Friday night, which
how was it?
Everyone keeps saying
it's different than I watched the trailer for it, and it's kind of different than what the trailer makes you think it is. But I thought it was really good. It was, it wasn't like it's like one of those movies that I enjoyed watching it, but it's probably not going to be on my rewatch list. But I enjoyed it. It's worth a watch if you need something to watch. I should be watching all this backlog of things rather than that, but whatever.
There's always a metric shit ton of backlog. Excuse the French again, but there's no better way of saying it.
Yeah. I think I did see The Day the Earth Stood Still, but like a long time ago. I should probably rewatch it. I've seen enough, clips and discussions about it. I'm pretty sure I saw it, but it's been a long time. So I don't know. Anyway, but this week I'm going to try to watch For All Mankind. I started it like 3 years ago or something and never finished. And I want to rewatch season 1 of Andor since season 2 is coming out here soon. So.
When is season 2? That's May?
April?
No shit.
It's in a few months. It's coming up quick.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. The Russian version of For All Mankind is called Star City.
Okay.
It's I think it's produced by Sony Pictures, and it'll explore how the Soviet Union became the first country to put a person on the moon. It'll focus on the lives of the cosmonauts, engineers, and the intelligence officers involved in the Soviet space program.
So a sister series, but not one that like follows along the same timeline like an SG1 or an SGA might. Or
it's the same timeline. It's like starting back with season 1. The timeline seems like it starts back with season 1 of For All Mankind. You know, there may be some crossovers from some of the actors and from All Mankind, but also All Mankind. There is another season that's been greenlit. I think season 5.
Okay.
So Star City is the same timeline as For All Mankind, but just from the Soviets' point of view.
And at the beginning of their story starting point, right?
Yeah, it was somewhere around there. I mean, since they got to the moon, then they have to tell the story of how they get to the moon. Would
a more apt comparison almost be The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead? You feel like?
Yeah. Oh, that is spot on, dude. That's spot on. Exactly.
Different stories, same universe.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's cool. Anything else this week, Sarah?
That's it. My usual, hockey. All about hockey.
This week.
Yeah. Well, it was more a Four Nations tournament, I guess. NHL was kind of on a break, so Four Nations, which Canada won. All right.
It's not a World Cup? It's like
It was like its own thing that the NHL put together. There hasn't been anything. There hasn't been one before, and they're probably not going to do it again. They'll probably do something similar again, but it'll probably be more than Four Nations, I think.
Okay.
But next year's the Olympics, so that's what will be happening next year, this time.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
But let's not forget to mention on March 3rd, we're going to start our Farscape watch through, right?
Oh,
we are.
That sounds like entertaining.
Yeah.
We are. Did someone just mention that? No?
I just thought of it. Yeah, I just want to bring it up.
Well, y'all know. Y'all know it now. February 3rd, or not February 3rd, March 3rd.
Yeah.
It's the same day of the week as February 3rd, since the 28 days a month. But
right.
There we go. Yeah, no, that's going to be fun. I'm pumped about Farscape. I saw someone yesterday on Facebook, and I had to post. Jamie posted in there, too, which made me crack up. I think I liked his little tweet or Facebook comment, whatever, It was somebody saying, Farscape is the worst series ever. Ben Browder and Claudia Black are awful. They literally ruined Stargate whenever they were brought into Stargate, and they canceled the series and all these things. And, everybody's just getting pissed off in the comments, and all I did was I just looked for a little GIF that said, that's bait, and I put that up there, because all that was that's bait. Like, nothing but bait right there.
Yeah. Yep.
True. I mean, true.
Next season of 3 Body Problems later this year, I believe. Let me Google for you real quick. Season 2, 3 Body Problem.
Yeah.
I don't think they have given a release date yet, but I would assume it'd be this year. Muppets in Space.
Yeah.
This week, though, I've seen some fantastic things.
Spill it.
And I saw some shite as well. Something that I thought was going to be a lot of fun, and it did not end up being fun. And we'll start with that. Oliver said I would have taken the bait. So many people did. It had like thousands of comments. People were just living in there. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I saw The Monkey, which is the new film by Osgood Perkins. It's a horror movie. It's about that toy monkey that we all had. The one in Toy Story 3 was scarier than the one that was actually in this movie. It's the one little wind up on the back that goes and slams the drum down,
Oh, that's a burn.
Well, it's based off of The Monkey, the short story by Stephen King, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie,
but the Pixar movie was scarier.
It has a really good horror movie in it, and it has a mediocre comedy in it. And they decided to put them together instead of focus on one or the other. And the comedy, I love me some horror comedy stuff. Give me some Tucker Dale versus Evil any day of the week. Toss some dude in a wood chipper and make it funny. And okay, I'll chuckle. It's dark comedy, but I'll still chuckle. This one was no fun. It was like trying to be a funny Final Destination while also still having inklings of a really good Stephen King short story in there. Right. And it hired great actors. Tatiana Maslany from She-Hulk played the mom of Theo James's character, who was the little kid from Sweet Tooth and stuff like that, was the younger version of Theo James's character. Such a great cast. Everybody had moments of phenomenal acting. It was one of those movies. There were twice I considered walking out, and I don't do that. Y'all know me with movies.
Mm-hmm.
There was twice in there. It's not even bad enough to walk out of.
God,
it's not. Oh
my God! It gets worse as you tell the story.
It just irks. It irks you. It's not bad enough to walk out of, which is why I didn't. But it irks you enough to want to walk out, if that makes sense. And it hurt me.
I think I've only walked out on one film in my life.
What was it?
Y'all gonna hate me, but it was Purple Rain. When they threw the chick in the dumpster, I'd had enough. That was just so over the top misogynistic. I just done.
Purple Rain.
I mean, the music was great, and and Prince did it, but it was just they threw the woman in the dumpster, and I thought that was, what the fuck did I just see? So I just left.
All right. I think the only movie I've ever walked out of was Sonic 3, and that was because I had something to go do. I had my niece with me, and we could only watch it for a certain amount of time. Chazz was there too. We all ran out and stuff, and was like, okay, meeting people at a certain time. But the last movie outside of this one that I debated walking out of was Expendables 4, and that one was bad enough to walk out of.
I think I spent a weekend with Expendables, and I think it was on streaming, and I can see that. I can see that.
Even the third one, it's not good. I love the first two. I mean, they're cheesy, fun, hard R, boom, boom, pow kind of things. And then that third one is oh, we're going to make it PG-13, and it doesn't work. But the fourth one was legitimately awful. I did totally screw my brain up the next day and said, let's go watch something really fun. And something that's Oscar nominated that I keep hearing great things about. So my roommate and I went to go see the new Demi Moore movie, The Substance, and she damn well better win the Oscar for it, because y'all know how often I like watching movies and all kinds of movies, and we talk about Infinity Pool, David, Brandon Cronenberg. I love Cronenbergian films. I leaned over, and I have a fondness for some greenery on the occasion. I leaned over to my roommate during this movie, and I said I should not have smoked before this movie, because I literally was just the entire thing. I was like, oh my God, my body was crawling, my skin was crawling. Oh, it was a damn good movie. The Substance was damn good. It is sci-fi. That is a scary sci-fi movie that I would suggest all of us watch. Do not watch it with children around. Do not watch it with maybe anybody besides yourself around, or somebody to give you a hug, because you might need one. It is very, very good. And the other one that I watched yesterday was Nora, who is probably the other front runner for Best Leading Actress. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. It was a lot longer than I expected, but Demi Moore's got it. Give me that hard, scary sci-fi this year. It deserves it. It's there. But Monkey, those two, I think I watched a little SG-1 and a little Scavenger's Reign on in the background while playing some cards and stuff. Watched The Wild Robot this week. And I feel like I saw something else. Oh, I've just been playing Avowed a lot. Avowed came out, and my life has been partially Avowed at least every day for the last 4 days now. I don't play video games often, but when you give me something like Skyrim or Lord of the Rings-ish kind of, and allow me to just go around in a world and explore, I'm going to do it. Yeah, Nora was really good. Monkey?
Yeah. I wasn't going to watch it anyway. But,
yeah, I don't think, yeah.
Definitely. But,
Nora and Substance, though? Hell yeah.
I want to see The Substance really bad. I keep every time I think of it, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta watch that. I keep forgetting. I gotta watch it. Anyway,
you'd like it too.
I gotta get out of here, you guys. So
yeah, we're an hour 40 into it. We should go ahead and end it. And thank y'all for hanging. I think
yeah,
it was fun.
It
Was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anything else before we hop out of here, y'all?
Watch good TV this week. That's your homework. Watch good TV.
Mhm.
And also become an internet archivist.
Become an internet archivist. Seriously. There's some great stuff out there that is at risk of disappearing forever.
All right. Oh, and while the brain's on Avowed for half a second, it is the reason I have not done any Star Trek this week. We'll watch some Star Trek this week, y'all. Just kind of excited about it, all, you know. And at the end of the week, next week, the beginning of, y'all come hang out with Sarah and I. We'll watch some Farscape with you. You know, that'll be Patreon. YouTube members, of course, for the membership streams over there for Star Trek. And we will see y'all the next couple days. It's gonna be fun.
Right.
Adios. Love y'all. And this was the Chevron Awards. Adios.